So we continue learning laws of Shabbos. Today is class number 30. Okay, and we start with Sefer Shmiras Lashon on page 105, and topic is comparisons. Okay, please. Okay.
Comparisons. Let us consider the above. The sages of the Talmud were mighty sages whose thoughts were constantly bound up with HaShem. They were forever contemplating His greatness and His commandments. Their speech was exceedingly sacred and pure. If in the course of speaking it happened by chance that an improper word escaped from their lips, surely they immediately engaged in an appropriate form of Teshuva. Nevertheless, even this rare and proper utterance did damage the sanctity of their power of speech, so that it was diminished from its previous level. What of ourselves then, whose level of study is in no way compares to that of the sages of the Talmud? If we will defile our mouths with the words of lashon hara, mockery, strife, and the like, what sort of sanctity will be manifest through our Torah study? Let's compare our approach to spiritual material pursuits. When, for example, business matters are concerned, one does not cease from pondering ways by which to improve his enterprises and increase his profits. He is careful to remove any possible impediment to success, and no person of sound mind would intentionally do anything that could harm his very source of livelihood. Yet, with spiritual pursuits of the opposite is often the case. We ourselves bring about the ruination and the remnant that still remains with us. The bit of Torah study and prayer that we have, how? Through forbidden speech.
Any comments? If you want to add to this?
Basically, unless you do Teshuva, whatever you say, even if it's holy, doesn't matter. It was going on what we said about the sages. I'm pretty sure it was Abaye the day before, 2 days before, where no matter what forbidden speech you say, no matter how much you say it, it's still going to, even the littlest amount, infect the sanctity of your mouth and the sanctity of your words and make the whole thing less holy. Not just your words, not just your mouth, but also the world around you when these words come out.
Okay. So this impurity contaminates the whole world around. Okay. Very nice. Okay, so in our book of laws of Shabbos, we're on page 106.
Mm-hmm.
And we continue the subject of caring on Shabbos. So, and we said that we defined what is a garment, right? Garment to protect other garments. We discussed, and then we started in what manner it is permitted to wear garments. So you have some like background noise.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so we start with wearing garments in unusual fashion. Okay, so let's start. The only restriction that applies to wearing a genuine article of clothing is that they worn in a normal manner. Okay. It is forbidden to wear any garment outdoors in unusual fashion, for there is like a carrying a garment. To illustrate, it is forbidden to wear a folded tallis draped over the shoulders, since it is unusual to wear folded tallis. So, okay, so we discussed it a little last time. So maybe like the person does not know how to wear tallis, and it's like old tallis, so it would slip off. So today, whatever they do today is non-slippery. I mean, it still slips, but even if you hold it correctly, so it's going to stay in place, basically. But people who do not know, they would wear as a scarf or whatever. However, it is permitted to wear a folded garment outdoors, if it is usual for people to wear the garment well folded in that fashion. For example, if garment is too long, it is permitted to shorten it a bit, but rolling it up, and then wear it outdoors. Like we said, like maybe sleeves for a raincoat. Right? It's like one size fits all, like almost. So you would need to roll up the garments, the sleeves. Thus, a woman may go outdoors with her skirt rolled up to the waist to ensure that it does not protrude beneath your coat. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I got scared for a second. So basically, she wants to pull up the skirt because it does not. She does not want to protrude beneath the coat. I mean,
Awesome.
for me, it does not make sense, but maybe it looks better. I'm not sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Let's say, for example, someone usually, almost 99% of the time, people when they wear a suit, when men wear a suit, the shirt is tucked in, right? So when their shirt is tucked out, would it count as the unusual manner or not?
I would say it would not because many people wear like this, especially non-Jews.
Mm-hmm. What about tzitzis? Let's say you live in a certain community and you wear tzitzis inside instead of outside when almost everybody wears it outside.
Okay, for tzitzis, it's also some of it because many people wear like this and like this, so there is no like right or wrong way.
Yeah, but let's say it doesn't matter. Many people. Is it going by the people all around the world or just people in your community? Because if we're talking about in your community, then in your community, if everybody wears it outside and you're the only one who wears it inside, then you're wearing it in an unusual manner for your community.
For this community, But you see, in example of that we did last time, so they were talking about shepherds. In the Talmud, there were shepherds, and they
Uh-huh.
put some kind of wool on top of them, some kind of sackcloth to protect from rain. So, and they say since these shepherds can wear like this, so it is allowed. Even though even in those times, not everybody was shepherds. Shepherds were minority of the people. So I would say, so even if community wears like inside or outside, doesn't matter. So you wear differently, there is no problem. It's a still normal way of wearing.
Another question. What's your example of the shepherds? Now, before the shepherds started wearing it, it was an unusual manner, correct?
Correct. Yeah. Yes.
So that means that the first one was unusual, right?
The first one was unusual. It's a good question. So yeah, I see where you lead it. So how it's all started. So basically, you want to say it was. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't have an answer. But you see, the Talmud give us the story like in the middle. So I mean, we don't know how it's all started with shepherds, but they say it is allowed because shepherds wear it. But I'm not sure. I hear your question. It's a good question. Okay, so continue. Very nice. Okay. Um, okay, so she would pull up, roll up her skirt to the waist, up the waist, so it would not protrude beneath the coat. I would never figure this thing. Unbelievable. Similar, I mean, these women, it's yeah, very interesting. Similarly, a man may roll up the bottom of his trousers if they are too long. Okay, or to prevent them from becoming soiled with mud. Okay, so today maybe it's not applied so much. Okay, these garments are commonly worn while rolled. These garments are commonly worn while rolled or folded up. So meaning these pants for men and these skirts for women. Okay. According to some poskim, it is permitted to go outdoors with one short sleeve rolled up, since it is common for people to roll up the short sleeves. Let's see commentary, the note, and then we discuss. However, Rav Moshe Feinstein, that's all, ruled that one should not wear a garment with rolled up sleeves outdoors.
Wait, question. Like you said, if we're going by, let's say, the whole world and not just the community itself, what if, let's say, there are a lot of Hasidim, there are a lot of this, that, and everything. So let's say there's a community with 15 people, just started a community, I don't know,
Yeah.
and they wear their, I don't know, their tzitzis, or they wear whatever in an unusual fashion. So are they allowed to wear it in this unusual fashion on Shabbos or no?
I'm sorry, in unusual fashion compared.
Let's say 15 people wear it, right, in this community,
Yeah.
but there are 2 million Jews who wear it in a completely different way.
Yeah.
So does it count as unusual?
I would say, you see, with stitches, it is a garment.
Not
So
not even not even tzitzis. Let's say something that's not a mitzvah. Let's say just a normal jacket, a jacket. Let's say they wear it. Let's say they wear it around their waist. They tie the sleeves around their waist.
Yeah. That's it. Okay. That's whatever you just said. It's a classic example. Like nobody wears it. That's how you carry it, just in case, right? So that's what you tie it around your waist, just in case. Maybe you're going to need it later. So it's not. You said that the garment is for your dignity, from protection from elements, or for some medical reasons, whatever it is, right? So it's not of the one of the three.
I can make this argument though. Let's say I'm wearing pants. I bought big pants by accident. I don't have a belt, and I tighten it. I tighten the jacket around so it's like a belt now. Possible.
No, I see what you said. I'm not still. It does not looks like. I mean, you're right. You have a bigger pants, so you need the belt, but it's not a belt. It's still not a belt, and it's still. I think. I mean, there is. Maybe they're going to explain it, but in my opinion, it would be still carrying. So if you wanna use something like that other people would use as a belt, even piece of rope could be a belt.
Does it count as carrying if, let's say, someone only wears the suit on one side? Like, let's say he puts one arm in.
Yeah. It's carrying for sure. Yes.
Okay. Understood. Got it.
So yeah. Okay. Okay. So short sleeves. So basically, on one hand, so some poskim say that it is not carried because many people are working like that. On another hand, this long sleeve short, as Moshe finds it, that's how it was created. It was created to be worn like sleeves normally, right? And it's not like in the case of the pants when he needs to roll up because he afraid that it's going to maybe they're too long, or in case of the woman. So here that's how the short was created. And plus, it's only like in a shoe. I don't think this guy is going to go with the sleeves like that. You understand? So, but
can the same law be applied to someone wearing a hat backwards, because the hat was made to be worn forwards?
I would say that since a lot of people wearing like that, a lot.
But a lot of people also roll up their sleeves too. So
I don't think too many, but I mean for non-Jews, for example, to go with a short sleeve, there is no problem. But we usually don't go. Try not to go with a short sleeve. I mean, in a house when nobody sees you, yeah, okay, when it's too hot. But outside, me personally, I try not to go. If I ever go, I don't know. Okay, continue. Similarly, some poskim permit. So because you see, when you're outside, you're representative of HaShem, you're prince.
what about
you understand? So you would not see a prince in a shorts or the short sleeve. So I have to be. Yeah, go ahead.
What about, let's say someone ties their shoes in an unusual fashion? Like, let's say he ties it like, I don't know, some Mickey Mouse or something like that. I don't know. But is that allowed?
We're going to get to it. So it could be in another problem. Another problem whatever you mentioned today. So we're not allowed to follow the ways of going.
No, let's say it's not a way of going.
And it could be a haircut, or it could be shoelaces. So they say, for example, if all of the going there is in style now, fashion, right, to wear red shoelaces. So it would for us would be absolutely forbidden to wear red shoelaces.
But let's say it's not going. Let's say it's just an unusual manner that they tie it.
You see, with the time, it could be another issue. So we're going to get to the time. Some knots are prohibited on Shabbos.
Uh-huh. Let's say a knot that's not prohibited on Shabbos, but still.
Not prohibited. So basically, if it's not prohibited on Shabbos and it has nothing to do with ways of the non-Jews, so there is no problem, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Understood.
Even, some
Even
people
though
do,
it's
yeah.
even though it's worn not the way it should be, even though the shoelaces aren't tied in the way they should be tied.
I think it should not be an issue because shoelaces it's not a separate article of clothing. It's they beetle they subordinate to your shoes. It's not a separate article.
A question. Now, let's say I don't know. Someone just started keeping Shabbos. He doesn't have he can't drive to shul anymore. The shul is 40 minutes away. He's like, I have to get the shul somehow quicker. So you know those shoes which have the roller skates on the bottom, like the. So is he allowed to wear those on Shabbos?
1 second. If you are allowed to shoes with roller blades on Shabbos, tell you the truth, I don't see any prohibition why the only thing that comes into my mind, so it would like weekday activity.
Uh-huh.
But he's not doing it for exercise, and he's not doing it for fun. So and usually you cannot compare it to the bicycle because bicycle is forbidden, and it's not like he's like a scooter, like you carry the scooter. It's not. Right, it's part of the issues. I mean, based on what I know, I would say there is no problem.
I'll tell you what I think is one problem. You tell me if I'm right or if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Now, you have to create a fence, and so what I would say is, some shuls they have stairs going up, correct?
Yeah.
This person, he's not going to leave shoes outside, right? So he has to actually carry the shoes and inside to the inside of the shul, no?
I didn't get you. Why? The guy with a rollerblade?
Yes.
Why is that? I didn't get it. Why?
Because he has rollerblades. How does someone with roller skates go upstairs? It's impossible.
No. 1 second. We started with the sneakers with the one roller.
Yeah. Sure. Even those, I don't know. Someone might be able to fall. Someone might be worried that he's gonna fall off the stairs. It's possible. It's very possible.
So continue. So then what?
No, he's worried he's gonna fall off the stairs. So can he do? He says, "Listen, I have to I'm not leaving my shoes outside for someone to steal them. That's not happening. So I'm gonna carry them inside the shul."
No, but if he so he stopped before the shul. There is stairs. So he took off this blades and carry up the stairs. That's what you mean?
Even more so. Let's say there are no stairs. It's just a shul, right? He has these shoes. He thinks, oh, it's this. How am I going to be praying Amida in these shoes? I'm going to be rolling everywhere. Well, what am I going to do?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, people, but on another hand, he's not going to go in his socks into the shul. It also doesn't look right. I don't know. So people usually don't do that.
He's very smart, so he left a pair of slippers in the shul just in case.
So the only issue, as I said, is this what is it? What do you call it? This weekday activity. That's why it's not allowed. But if you have the stairs and you have a roof above the stairs, like a canopy, it does not have to be like some canopy, right? So it's already private domain.
Wait, question. So now, for example, I have the shul next to me. It has a lot of steps, big steps. Let's say 10 steps, 10 feet high. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, So the thing is, I asked the rabbi there because someone took their mask. I didn't have time. They put their mask in their pocket, right? I didn't have time to rebuke them, and they were already outside. And so I asked the rabbi, "Is this a private domain?"
Yes.
Even though it had nothing on top, it just
Yeah.
had sides, right? It just
Yeah,
had
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He said, no. He said, yes, it's a private domain. Is he wrong?
He said it is private domain. The stairs from the shul that we're going to the street.
To the crosswalk, yeah. 25 years he's been a rabbi. I don't know.
Okay, so let's leave it, and we're going to see. Let's leave it. Okay. So continue. So after the short sleeve, similarly, some poskim permit wearing jacket over one's shoulders. Over one's shoulders, there is the sleeves hanging freely. However, one must be careful not to wear the jacket in this manner on a windy day, for the wind might blow it off, and one may come to carry it for cubits in a public domain. Okay, so let's see. Not Hagaon Rav Moshe finds in itself, however, rule that is forbidden in all circumstances for one to wear a jacket or one's shoulders with the sleeves hanging freely. So that's exactly what you were asking before, like without sleeves in there. I mean, the way I see it, like the rationale why Rav Moshe said, it's going to fall in a dust, right? And the guy is going to pick up, and he's not going to wear it any longer. Right? It's embarrassing to wear a dirty jacket. You understand? So he would carry it in his hand for sure now. Okay. So these jackets, okay, don't wear, only wear sleeves inside. Okay, continue. Wearing two identical garments. It is permitted to wear two identical articles of clothing, one on top of the other, provided that the people sometimes wear the two of that garment. For example, yeah, go ahead.
Does the texture, does the material of the garment affect if it's considered the same garment or no?
No, Martina, no. Like one shirt is silk, one is cotton.
Yeah.
No, doesn't matter.
Well, let's say now it says exact. Now I can see if it's two of the same company, so on and so forth. Well, let's say someone has two sweaters, but one of them the sleeves go to here, to the wrist, and one of them the sleeves go to, I don't know, let's say halfway from the wrist.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it considered the same garment or no?
No, it's two separate garments, but there is no problem.
I got it.
He would wear them separately if he wants, but he's cold, so he wants to
Understand.
wear two. There is no problem. For example, it is common to wear two sweaters exactly like this, or two pairs of socks in a very cold weather. Okay, about socks we spoke last time. I mean, it's common. It's too cold. So I mean, this winter, few days, I wear two pairs of socks. It was so cold.
It doesn't matter if the let's say I'll give you the same example. Let's say if one socks is long sleeve, the other is short.
No, it doesn't matter. They're both articles. Therefore, it is permitted to wear two of the same garments, even in a warm weather. Okay, and even for the purpose of merely transporting them, one of them to a different location. So it's not that cold, but you want to return your friend jacket that you borrowed last time. Yeah.
So let's say going back to the unusual fashion, and we'll use this too. So let's say someone's wearing socks, right? But it's cold outside. He forgot to buy mittens and so on and so forth.
Yes.
He decides, listen, I'm gonna ruin my enjoyment for Shabbos if my hands are cold the whole day. So let me put socks on my hands. I'll put my hands in my pocket so that nobody sees. So sure, but
Wow, that's very interesting question. So I would say I would start from what is clear to me. So even if he puts his hands in the pocket, does not matter. So carrying, even if you have something in the pocket, it's already carrying. So
Yeah, but the point is,
but this is unusual manner of wearing for sure. I would say would not be allowed.
but it's for a mitzvah because enjoyment of Shabbos.
I'm not sure if that mitzvah is bigger than carrying, because it's not. It's. I don't think so. So I mean, we can ask somebody, but what I always said makes sense. He has warm socks, right? He doesn't have mittens, and he wants to put the socks on his hands.
I have another question then. Let's say it's before Shabbos. The store to buy mittens is too far away. He wants to start Shabbos on time. So what does he do? He cuts out holes in the socks for fingers, and so they're basically gloves now. He made them into gloves. Is that allowed?
Now it is allowed because that he did it before Shabbos, and he said now it's my mittens. That's how I'm going to learn.
Okay, now it's mittens. That's allowed. It doesn't
Yes.
get into the stocking.
Yes. Because it was as you said before Shabbos.
Got it.
Like he said, that's my new way of wearing. Okay. However, people never wear one belt over another belt, right? And one hat on top of another. So that's a good example. So one belt, okay, 2 shorts, 6 shorts, whatever you can wear, 2 pair of socks, but the 2 belts people don't wear. Okay. Thus, an extra belt or hat cannot be considered part of the one's clothing, and it is forbidden to go outdoors while wearing one. So when people wear kippah and the hat, there is no problem. They're 2 different things. But two even different style of hats would not be allowed. Okay. So part number 3, it says the article worn to prevent the discomfort or shame. As noted above, it is permitted to wear articles whose function is to prevent physical discomfort. Okay. This includes, for example, sanitary napkins, nursing pads, and underarm shields. Okay. Which protect the wearer from discomfort by absorbing secretions. Okay. However, such articles cannot be considered bona fide garments, and accordingly, they may be worn only to prevent discomfort, but not for any other purpose. So only if he has this discomfort, she has this discomfort, can wear, but not for any other purpose. Okay, let's see.
Wait.
Yeah, go ahead.
Question. Hey, going back to the socks example. Let's say this person, I don't know, he had a Chabad house in Japan. He comes to America for Shabbos.
Okay.
Now, let's say in Japan, they say socks, mittens, same thing. I wear those over here. I wear those over here. Right?
Mhm.
Let's say. Now,
Yeah.
when he comes to America, is he still allowed to wear it because it wasn't the unusual manner over there?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's say many people
that way. It's allowed.
say it again.
It was Goyim who said that the socks and the mittens are the same thing. Now they didn't do it because it was fashion. That's how they were brought up all the time.
I didn't get the question. I mean, I got the part that when guy comes from Japan, that's how they wear there.
You said we're not allowed to go by fashion, correct?
Not I mean, if people wear it like this, so we can also wear it. So it's normal way. Normal way does not go by Jewish way. So, but what I said, it's a several prohibition not to follow the ways of doing. So it would not be allowed because of that. I give you this example. Rabbi Reuven fight for some years. Now the other big rabbis, they actually, and I think Rav Kanievsky said whoever wears it, or some other rabbis, they put it on Karen. When somebody wears this like tight pants, tight pants, not allowed. Okay. So all right. So basically, pants pants, but that's because of the many reasons, because it's a waste of goyim and it's not good, and for a man's health, so they say not allowed. Okay. Thus, Rav Moshe finds in Zatzal, rule that is forbidden for a woman to wear a sanitary napkins outdoor during the final part of her period. Okay, meaning she does not expect it to anything. When her secretion are very light. Okay. There is no risk of discomfort, and the napkins serve only to protect her undergarments from becoming soiled. So it's not for her, but to protect the undergarments. So we said it's same with this like plastic on the head. So it's not necessary. However, this does not pertain to adhesive napkins, sanitary napkins. Since these are attached to the underwear, they may be worn at all times. So basically, like they become part of this thing, so no problem. Okay. Thus, if a woman who is at the end of the period wishes to go outside on Shabbos, she should wear either the adhesive napkin or several pairs of undergarments. Similarly, a woman may not wear nursing pads or underarm shields outdoor in instances where there is no need to prevent the physical discomfort, but only to protect the clothing. Okay. Having defined what is the considered clothing and in what fashion clothing may be worn, let us now turn our attention to the rabbinical restriction upon wearing certain garment outdoors. Okay, so now we go into rabbinical restrictions. Okay, so number 4, other restriction concerning garments. The sages forbade wearing certain garments in a public domain for fear that one might remove them and thus come to carry them 4 cubits in the public domain. The following are the items prohibited. Okay, so basically, so maybe it's it's an article that it's allowed to wear, but the prohibition is so the sages was afraid that person is going to carry. So we said even in one domain, if he carries 4 amos, which is approximately 7-8 feet, so it is not allowed. Okay. So A, garments might subject to wearer to ridicule. The sages forbade a person to go outdoors while wearing garment that might subject him to ridicule. For the fear that he might remove the garment and then carry it in the public domain. This prohibition applies even to bona fide garments. For example, it is forbidden to go outdoors while wearing only one shoe, unless the other foot is injured. Because people might taunt the wearer, and he might therefore be inclined to remove the shoe and carry it. So I'm not sure why would he go with one shoe, for whatever reason. So I mean, if the second foot is injured, for sure it's like he has a cast, he has some bandages and stuff like that. So if it's obvious, so there is no problem. That's how people wear, that's how people go outside. But if for some other reason, so maybe the second foot is injured, but it's not obvious to other people, so it would not be allowed. They would make fun of him, and he would remove this first shoe and carry it, which is a big problem. Okay. So B, garments that might fall off. The sages forbade person to wear in public domain a loose garment that has tendency to fall off, since one might come to carry it 4 cubits in public domain. For example, it is forbidden to wear a loosely fitting hat. Okay, so it's like one size bigger, right? Since the wind might well lift it off his wearer's head, and he might carry it in the public domain. It's like with remember we discussed a story with a keeper, right? That is cheap keepers like that fly with the wind. So I mean, even without wind, it's going to fly. So it's one of these examples. However, concerning men, this applies only if he's wearing a yarmulke under the head. Okay. For only then is there a legitimate concern that he might carry his hat once he fell off. So basically, if he has a kippah under the hat, so we're afraid that if wind blew off the hat, he's going to wear the hat. But if there is no kippah, that's it, no kippah. So for sure he's not. I mean, he needs to have his head covered.
We only do let's say brachas. We only do brachas for biblical commandments, not for rabbinical, correct?
No, we also for rabbinical, for sure.
Also, okay. So my question is, why don't we do a blessing on yarmulke?
So the yarmulke, it's a good. So it's all started as a midas hasidus, like extra thing.
Mm-hmm. But now it's rabbinical. Now it's even more.
Now it was a custom and stuff like that. So it's not like one of the rabbinical mitzvahs. So it is appropriate to do that. And if you don't, people will look at you. Well, what happened to this guy, right? So if you know somebody come without yarmulke, you say, "Well, what are you of the derech? What happened to you?" Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. On Shavuos, I don't think I told you. I lost my keep, but don't ask how. In Lakewood, I was in Beis Yitzhak, 1,500 people. I was 3 rows behind the chazan. Yeah. I gotta keep in the next 10 minutes, but those 10 minutes were everybody was staring at me.
Oh, okay. If he's so you need a beekeeper like mine, so it's impossible to lose. I mean, it's possible, but it stays there very good. Okay. If he's not wearing a yarmulke, there is no concern that he will carry the hat, since he will not walk around bareheaded. That's good. I mean, that's a perfect rationale. So if he has a yarmulke, so maybe the hat become dirty, and the separate prohibition, we cannot dust it off. We're going to learn about it, like because so if you move camera different direction, please. Okay, that's it. Yeah. So yeah, so it would be laundry prohibited. So basically, the sages always look 1 step or 2 steps or 3 steps ahead. What is going to happen? What is? Okay.
Let's say there's what's it called? Let's say you spill, I don't know. Let's say you spill grape juice, right? Are you allowed to? Let's say there's excess grape juice that's just floating. Are you allowed to flick it or no?
On the closing?
Yeah.
I would say yeah, you're allowed to lick it.
Allowed. Understood.
Okay, so C. Articles often removed to display to others. The sages forbid a person to go outside while wearing jewelry, for the fear that the wearer might remove it in order to show it to another person. We'll discuss the subject at length in the following chapter. Okay, so we're going to get to it. Number 5. Items appended to the garments. Okay. Having learned that thus far that what is defined as a garment and what restriction apply to the wearer of the garment, let us turn to the subject of the items attached to apparel. So now it's just attached. So it's not a garment but attached. Obviously, certain articles sewn into the garment, such as buttons, are considered intrinsic part of the garment. And since one may walk outdoors while wearing clothing, one may walk outdoors with clothing that has buttons attached. So even if you don't close all of the buttons for whatever reason, so there is no problem. Equally obvious is the fact that one may not attach just any item to the garment and walk to a different domain on a pretext of wearing that item. For example, if one pinned a sheet of paper to his coat, the paper would not be viewed as a part of the coat. Rather, it would remain as an independent article, and one would be carrying as he wore the coat. So I think it's a good example. So maybe some things like a woman, like some decoration, like I don't know, some brooch, like some jewelry stuff. So it would be for decoration, but piece of paper for sure it's not decoration. That's not the normal way of wearing things. Okay. However, there are many articles whose status is not so clearly established. For example, a spare button sewn into the coat, considered part of the coat, or they independent articles that one carries as he wears on the coat. So that's a good question, especially with the shorts, right? They usually have like 2 buttons on the bottom. Go ahead.
So let's say there's an arrogant person, okay, and he becomes the king, right? He now wears a crown. Is he allowed to wear the crown? Because
Yes. Because for him, it's an article of clothing for sure. That's.
But there's a chance he might take it off though, because he's arrogant. He wants to show everybody his crown.
Yeah, kings usually they don't take care of. Continue. Let's try to finish and maybe we stop. 1 second. No. We have a few more minutes. So we must therefore define which type of appendages can be considered part of the garment and which to which they are attached. So for sure it's attached. Okay, so let's try maybe another few minutes. Items intrinsic to a garment. Okay. Certain articles are considered intrinsic part of the garment, and the garments to which these articles are attached may be worn outdoors, even though the articles not serving any functional need. Buttons used to fasten coat are intrinsic part of the coat. Accordingly, it is permitted to wear a coat outdoors, even if it is unbuttoned. So basically, there are buttons, but you don't use them. Okay, no problem. But for unused buttons, for the unused buttons, nevertheless part of the coat. So since it's part of the coat, there is no like need for you to use them every time. Okay. Pockets too are intrinsic part of the garment. Accordingly, it is permitted to wear the garment outdoors, even if the pockets serve no purpose. Okay, they're empty, and one does not put his hands in them. So it's like no use. So we're talking about garments, not the garments like in your pants that go inside of the garments, like something like on top, like it would be like in a coat, I guess. Similarly, it is permitted to wear a jacket with a hood attached to it, even if the hood is not in use. Okay, that's okay. I mean, I think that they're talking about detachable hood. Right? So if it's sewn to the garment, it's of course it's part of the garment. Okay. Even if the hood is not in use, or a coat containing zipper intended for lining, even though the lining is not attached. So I mean, but it's sewn in, so there is no problem. So this zipper is not is no problem. Some poskim say that it is also permitted to go outdoors with a garment that has spare buttons sewn inside it. Okay, that's what everybody wears these shorts. For since garments are mass-produced in this fashion, the spare buttons are considered intrinsic to the garment, and it is not permitted, it is permitted to go outside with them, even though they serve no purpose. We will later see the additional reasons to permit this. So basically, these extra buttons, you did not attach them. That's how they manufacture, and it's became standard. So there is no problem. Okay, continue. Okay, so a little longer. Articles subordinate to a garment. Certain articles do not meet the aforementioned criteria and not consider intrinsic part of the garment. May nevertheless be considered subordinate to a garment, thus allowing one to wear the garment outdoors. An article can be considered subordinate to the garment if, number one, it serves the garment. Number two, it is a negligible value. So like this button would be negligible value, right? Or as I say, source of the garment. Let us elaborate on this criteria. Number one, articles that serve a garment. Any article that perform a function that enhances the effectiveness or appearance of the garment, is accorded the same status of the garment itself, and one may wear it in the public domain. Some examples to follow. Okay, a belt to hold up one pants. Okay, so let's say see page 117 for discussion concerning unfastened belts. Okay, so this might be wearing, but we're going to see. Suspenders. Okay, also like it's not separate garment, but it helps to keep the pants up. C-pin to secure yarmulke. So it's like helps to keep it to stay in one place. D are short colors stiffeners. So we have here like plastic things that put. E, safety pin to hold together garments. Okay, as we said before. Commentary. See page 59 for discussion on when the safety pin may be inserted in a garment on Shabbat. So we said if you're going to remove very soon. Shoulder pads. Shoulder pads. I'm not sure why would somebody use shoulder pads. Maybe women. I'm not sure. G, a tie clip. So to keep the tie on place. I mean, I'm not sure. People, I haven't seen the tie clip for many years. I don't know. Maybe somebody. I'm not sure. Number 2, article of negligible value. If an item has a little or no value, is attached to the article of clothing, it may be considered subordinate to the garment, even if it does not perform any function. For example of the following. So we do this and we stop. Spare button sewn inside of the garment, so negligible value, right? B, cleaner stack. This should be preferably removed from the garment before Shabbat. But if you forgot, no worry, negligible value, you can go with them outside. C, identification tags. Okay, also no problem. D, shortness labels. So basically, when you have suit, you have to check if there is wool in a suit. So you have to go to the lab. If you need the address, I can give you the address. F, price tags. This should be preferably removed from the garment before Shabbos. But let's say he forgot. He said, I bought the jacket in honor of Shabbos, and he forgot to remove this tag. Okay, so he can tuck it in, and there's no problem. And G, the last one, thread left in a garment from the button that fell off. So basically, it's like extra. It has no purpose. But they say there is no problem. You can go out with this thread. Okay, we can stop here. Any questions, comments, please?
No, everything.
Okay. All right. So thank you very much then. Another class in a few minutes. Good night. Until next time.
אני מברך את הרבנים, רגע. אני מברך את הרבנים, הרב ירון ראובן, הרב אפרים כחלון, ראשי ארגון בעזרת השם, שהלכו בפי עליון, שעלו מעלה, יהיה להם ברכה והצלחה, הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא בישועות ליבם לטובה ולברכה, שבכל מה שיפנו ישכילו ויצליחו, יזכו עוד לעשות כאלה וכאלה, הודיעו תורה לאדירה, אמן ואמן.
בעזרת השם רשת בכל הארץ. הוא היהודי הזה, הוא היה מיליונר, סגר את כל הביזנס, אמר אני משקיע פה בעולמה של תורה. איפה הוא גר? בפלורידה.
פלורידה, איפה זה פלורידה? באמריקה.
במיימי. כן, ליד. אנחנו שם עכשיו הולכים להקים קהילה ספרדית.
חזק אותו בשמי.
קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
תאמינו מה שבירכתי אותו.
כן, קהילה ספרדית גדולה.